Good afternoon. This is ELT115, Section 3. This session is July the 1st, 2020. And I would like to say hello to everyone. When you watch this, I'm going to be suggesting some exercises. We're not having a regular class because we're not having your participation, but eventually, as soon as you get to watch this video, you can review some of the activities that I am suggesting. Okay, so the first activity has to do with identifying consonant sounds that are going to be in initial and final position. Okay, so this listening activity, I'm going to start sharing again, this time including the audio. Just give me a second. Okay, so my suggestion would be to go to this website, which is lo.org, and I'm going to copy and paste the website link in the chat room. So when you get there, you will see several titles here, like learning English, sports memory, fast food, yesterday, plans for the night, travel wish, worst genre, best genre, best home city, millions, caught in a lie, great teacher, great student, this is a misspelled word here, best foreign city, best place to live, book or mags, admirable athletes, dream house, calorie watch, etc., etc. So if you were here, I would ask you to choose one of them. Okay, so I think I'm going to choose yesterday. Okay, you can choose any other ones that you want, any dialogue. So as you can see here, you get a video, and then here's the script. Okay, so you can watch the video, or you can play here, and you can go and read the script. Okay, the idea of reviewing this exercise that's called mixer is that you get at least 6 people. You have Ray here from United States, Emily, Nick, Owa, Jonathan, Demilza, people from different countries, different nationalities who are talking about the same topic. Okay, it's the same question for everyone. Okay, so I'm going to play the recording, and we're going to be following the speakers by reading the script. Okay, here we go.
What did I do yesterday? Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I had the good fortune of being invited to the house of a friend where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared. So I was able to eat delicious food in good company, had some good conversations. All in all, it was a very, very, very pleasant day, although I did eat too much.
I was at school until 6 o'clock, I think 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. Yeah, and I got back home. I had my dinner, did my homework, and I was actually chatting with a Chinese friend, and she showed me a lot of Chinese movies and famous people in China, and it was quite interesting.
Yesterday, I went to work. I taught at school. I taught English at school and um, played sports with my kids. It was lots of fun. We have a sporting festival next week, so there's lots of preparation happening.
What did I do yesterday? I had part-time job yesterday, honest. Yeah, actually, and I worked in a co-op in my university, which is like a little cafeteria where they sell a lot of goods like sweets and books and everything else. And I had work in the morning, and in the evening, I went out a little bit with my friends because my friend threw a party last night, like a welcome party. So I went there and meet some new friends, and enjoy my time and just a relaxing day for a weekend.
What did I do yesterday? Well, it wasn't that different or special a day. I worked most of the day, so I got up, took a shower, and so on, and went to work for most of the day. In the evening, I went to an international party. I met a friend of mine and met some new friends. Had some good single malt scotch, some good conversation, and went to sleep with a smile on my face.
Yesterday, I chilled out in my apartment and then I had some lunch in a nice restaurant in a shopping mall in town. And after that, I went to work.
So first, my suggestion would be to choose one of of these mixers. All right. This time I chose mixer 117, right? With the question, what did you do yesterday? But you can choose any other topics that you want. Then my suggestion would be to listen to the recording and follow what the speakers are saying by reading the script. Okay, and then my invitation would be to I'm sorry, to listen again. This time, pausing.
What did I do yesterday?
What did I do yesterday? So you mimic, you repeat what the speaker is saying. You're pausing the recording.
Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and you try to imitate the intonation, the pauses, the pronunciation of the words. Okay, that's the first thing that I would like you to do after choosing the mixer um, and listening to the recording while you're reading the script is listen again, making pauses and repeating what the speakers are saying.
And I had the good fortune of being invited to the house of a friend where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared.
You see, where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared. A wonderful, so there are some words that receive special emphasis or special stress. So sentences like, and I had the fortune of being invited to the house of a friend where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared. So in a long sentence, right, so, such as this one, right, in which actually there are two sentences. um, some words contain or receive more emphasis, right? Those are the words in a sentence that receive the stress. It's called sentence stress, okay? So it's very important for you to try to mimic that, try to um, do the same thing that the speaker is saying, particularly because when we speak in our native language, Spanish, we have a certain rhythm and we emphasize differently in a sentence the elements that we consider most important in the conversation. So um, try to do the same that the speaker is doing, okay? Mixers are a good way to expose yourselves to English because they contain different accents. They contain different speakers, different accents, different realities. Okay, different realities, more vocabulary. Okay, now I'm going to play this section again. The first paragraph, which is the answer that Ray gives to the question, "What you do yesterday," and I want you to focus on this first part. Okay, so my question is, how many plosive sounds can you hear? How many plosive sounds can you hear? Right from the very beginning. Here we go.
What did I do yesterday? Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I had the good fortune of being invited to the house of a friend where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared. So I was able.
Okay, so take a moment. If you are watching this video, my suggestion is pause the video, so you can answer the question, how many plosive sounds are there in this segment or passage of the speaker's dialect, right? So please pause the video now. Okay, so if we go line by line, word by word, we have what. In the word what, we have a plosive sound here at the end, right? What, which is basically a stop. Did, in the word did, we have d and d, which are also plosive sounds, right? The same thing with do. In the word yesterday, we have t and we have d, right? In the word well, we don't have any plosive sounds. In the word yesterday, we already covered it before. Was doesn't have any plosive sounds. Thanksgiving, right? We have k, Thanksgiving. We have g, which is also plosive sound. In the word and, depending if you hear the pronunciation d, we get one here. If not, if you heard n, right? No d, we don't have a plosive sound here. In the word had, we have d. In the word the, we don't. In the word good, the final consonant sound is a plosive sound. In the word fortune, we have t. In the word of, we don't have any. In the word being, we have the first one, b, right? In the word invited, we have t and d. In the preposition to, we have t. In the word the, no plosive sound. In the word house, no plosive sound. Of, no. Friend. Now, what do you think about the word friend? Is there any plosive sound or not in the word friend? Take a moment. Okay, so yes, in the sound d at the end, right? D, friend. In the word where, we don't have any plosive sound. No, wonderful. D, right? Thanksgiving. I think we covered that before. Dinner, we have d, right? Was no, as we saw before. And prepared has one per at initial position and per in middle position, and d in the end. So those would be the plosive sounds, right?
To eat delicious food in good company. Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and I had the good fortune of being invited to the house of a friend where a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner was prepared.
Okay, so here we have the first section of the dialogue, or the words that Ray was saying to answer the question. Now, let's focus on the next section here. And what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to the voiceless consonant sounds that you can hear. Okay, in this section, pay attention to the voiceless consonant sounds. I'm going to play the recording to check this second part of Ray's answer.
So I was able to eat delicious food in good company, had some good conversations. All in all, it was a very, very, very pleasant day, though I did eat too much.
Okay, so now what I want you to do, as I said before, is identify the voiceless consonant sounds present in this section, okay? Voiceless consonant sounds. So my suggestion would be pause the video again so you can take a look at the voiceless consonant sounds on your own, and then you can check the answers, all right? So please pause the video now. All right, so the answers, let's take a look. So in the first word, so would be voiceless, right? I is not voiceless, it's diphthong. Was, no voiceless sound here. Able, no voiceless sound. Two, t is voiceless, right? The same in eat, t. And the word delicious, right? Delicious. I would say the last sound is voiceless, right? Um, are you keeping up now? Yeah. Okay. So in the next one, food is voiceless, right? In the word and, no voiceless sounds. In the word good, no voiceless sounds or consonant sounds. In the word company, we have k, which is voiceless, right? P, which is also voiceless. In the word and, no voiceless sounds. In the word I know. In the word had, the initial consonant sound is voiceless. Some we have s, which is voiceless, right? Good, no. Conversation, in the word conversation, the initial sound k is voiceless. I would say sensation, right? It's also voiceless. Sh is also voiceless. The last one, conversations, would be voiced. Um, all, no voiceless consonant sounds, and no, um, all, no voiceless. It, well, the final t, right, was, no voiceless consonant sounds. Very, no voiceless consonant sounds, right? Pleasant, pleasant, I would say the initial consonant sound, p, is voiceless. And also the final one, t, pleasant. The next one, day, no voiceless consonant sound. Then we have though, no voiceless consonant sound. I would say did, it doesn't have a, there isn't any. In the word eat, the final consonant sound. In the word to, the initial t. And in the word much, I would say the last consonant sound, ch, is voiceless. Okay, that would be the analysis of which voiceless consonant sounds are present in this section of the um, uh, passage. Now let's take a look at this one, all right? Let's take a look at this one. So I think I'm going to play the whole of it. And the question for you is, identify the affricate sounds present in this section, right? The affricate sounds present in the section. Okay, here we go.
I was at school in school until 6 o'clock, I think 6 p.m. Yeah, 6 p.m. Yeah, and I got back home. I had my dinner, did my homework, and I was actually chatting with a Chinese friend, and she showed me a lot of Chinese movies and like famous people in China, and it was quite interesting.
Yesterday, I went to work.
If you're watching the video now, please pause the video so you can review your answers. Remember, the instruction was identify the affricate sounds present here. The affricate sounds present. Remember, there are only two affricate sounds in as the English consonant sounds, right? Okay, so let's move on. Assuming that you have already identified all the affricate sounds present, um, we have I was at school until 6 o'clock, I think. and then 6 p.m. Yeah, and I got back home. I had my dinner, did my homework, and I was actually, so we have ch ch there, right? That's African sound. Actually, uh, chatting, and then we have again ch there, right, in initial position, chatting with a Chinese ch again in initial position, Chinese friend, and she showed me a lot of Chinese, again ch, right, in initial position, Chinese movies, and like famous people in China. We have again initial position, right? And it was quite interesting. And that's the only African sound that we have. We found it in many words like chatting, actually, Chinese, China, right? So we only were able to identify the voiceless affricate post-alveolar sound ch, and not the voiced one, right? Um, and let's continue with this one. Okay, I'm going to play next part. Okay, I'm going to play next part now. And the exercise will consist on identifying the alveolar sounds present here. Alveolar sounds present. Okay, so I'm going to play again.
Yeah. And I got back home, had my dinner, did my homeworks, and I was actually chatting with a Chinese friend, and she showed me a lot of Chinese movies and like famous people in China, and it was quite interesting.
Here we go.
Yesterday, I went to work. I taught at school. I taught English at school, and um, played sports with my kids. It was lots of fun. We have a sporting festival next week, so there's lots of preparation happening.
All right. Going back to next part. Um, the question was identify the alveolar sounds, right? Alveolar sounds present in this next part. So please, same procedure, pause the video so you have time to identify all the alveolar consonant sounds present in this section. So please pause the video now. Okay, here we go with the analysis that you made, right? So yesterday I went to work. So in that section, yesterday I went to work. The alveolar sounds probably would be s, t, d, and yesterday, right? And then we skip I and went. We have n and t. We also have the initial consonant in to, right? And work, we don't have any alveolar sounds. I taught at school, we have initial t, final t, final t in at, and school. I would say s is alveolar and l is also alveolar, lateral, right? Then I taught, we already considered that one. In English, um, I would say we only have as alveolar, because when you think about the first consonant sound in English, that is affected or influenced by the following g, which is velar. So then English is a velar it's not the alveolar okay. So that it's That's very important to remember. I'm going to show you the transcription so you can take a look at this. If you allow me a second. So this is English, right? So this is the consonant sound that is before g, okay, which is velar. So it's easier for the tongue to go from a velar consonant sound to a velar consonant sound, and not from an alveolar consonant sound to a velar consonant sound, right? It's too much of a distance for the tongue to cover. So the tongue, whenever you're speaking very fast, always has that trick. Okay, so let me go back to the website. Here we are. All right. I think I am sharing with you this website. Since you're not here, I don't really know. What was the last word? I guess and. So n and d are alveolar sounds. Played has l, right, and d. Sports, we have s, which is alveolar, and t, which is also alveolar, and final s as well. With no alveolar sounds, my, no alveolar sounds, kids, right? We have d and z, kids, z, z, d and z. It would be alveolar sounds. Then we have it, t is alveolar, was, z is also alveolar, lots, the initial o, then we have t and we have s, which are alveolar. Of is not fun, I guess n would be the last consonant sound. N is alveolar. We, no alveolar sounds. Have, no. Our, no. Sporting, we have s, initial s. Then we have t as alveolar consonant sound. Not the final one, right? Because the final one is n as in sing. Then we have festival, s and t are alveolar sounds, and l. Then we have next, we have initial n, we have s and t. In the word week, we don't have any alveolar sounds, right? In the word so, we have initial s. Then we have there's, z, the final z would be alveolar. And the word lots, initial l. Then we have t and also s. And the word of, no alveolar sounds. Preparation, right, would be alveolar. Again, and final n, right? And the last word is happening. We have n, just n, right? We have which is a trap, p, a schwa, n, that's alveolar, and then short and lax, I, and then alveolar, and then velar, n. So only one alveolar sound in the last one, right? To clarify that, let me share with you the transcription here. Okay, so just one alveolar sound and not the last one. Happening. Okay, so hopefully it's clear enough. Okay, so far we have been analyzing a recording, considering listening input and also visual input. You have been listening and also reading. Okay, this is something that I want you to do, and this is just an example. Remember, I told you to go to mixers, right? You can find mixers in lo.org. You see that on the right here you have videos, right? On the left you have audio lessons with multimedia, and at the bottom here you have mixers, right? And I click here, and I got many options, but you can click for example, let's take a look at this one. See, cooking, shopping, natural disaster, dancing, appearance, breaking up. I wish you were here so you could choose one. But the point is, remember, the same exercise that I was doing, you can do it on your own. Okay, that's the idea. So I'm going to finish this first part. Um, Remember the recommendations and suggestions. Go to this website, find a mixer, and ask questions. First, of course, repeat and try to imitate the speakers, um, and then play and pause, and then focus on questions such as identify affricates or plosives or interdental consonant sounds. You can be more specific as identify all the interdental voiced consonant sounds present, right? You may find that sometimes there isn't any, or there's lots of them in one passage. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye for now. This is the first part of the recording. In the second part, I'm going to suggest other type of activities. Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.